Hello everyone, and we are back from a very long break after July's absolute shenanigans in terms of creating a massive documentary, and then on the start of this month, my hardware exploding. Very fun times, very expensive too. But hey, we're back, and we've got more interviews to cover than ever. Oh boy. So, let's start off by introducing the ever so sparkling and wonderful Lunessa.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Chilling.
Doing great, doing fantastic. You'll love to hear it. And so, let us begin. So the first question is, what got you into VTubing?
Simply not wanting to show my face on stream, but being interesting.
Yeah, when it comes to showing your face and streaming, obviously there's people who are confident in doing that, and some who are overconfident in doing that. The stuff people do on Twitch is just crazy to me, honestly.
That's true.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it all. Seen it all. But yeah, obviously, for those who don't want to show their real faces off or expose their real life identity, VTubing is the second best thing for that. And so, I'm not really surprised that many VTubers do become VTubers for that reason. And so, my next question for you is going to be, since you obviously are a streamer, what do you enjoy doing as a streamer?
A really good question. um, Honestly, I think what I enjoy most is just the games that I play, which is League of Legends, and that's not much to say. I think I get the kick out of how chat feels about my scuffness when I play, and that's what I get a kick out of being when streaming, honestly. It's how they react to my reaction.
Well, yeah, that's pretty fair. After all, the whole point of streaming in the first place is that you're putting yourself out there, regardless of if you're being out there as your real self or being out there as a VTuber. People are there to watch you, not really the game you play.
Yeah.
And also, that's obviously something I think plenty of people seem to forget, because obviously I see a lot of VTubers play very popular games like League of Legends, Apex Legends, Valorant. Most people aren't really there to see the game you're playing. They're there for you as a person.
Absolutely. I know people like like cool gameplays and stuff like that, but it's a mixture of great gameplay and like solid commentary.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, if you're good at a game, you're naturally going to attract more people to it because you've got skills that you can show for it. But
Hmm.
again, I would say that you as a person and how you portray yourself is more important than how good you are at a game.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, what actually are your favourite games to play?
Uh, League of Legends is definitely one of my favorite games to play, which is ask anyone who plays League, that should not be your first answer. League of Legends, Dead by Daylight. I definitely like Golf with Friends because it brings out the salt, and Apex. Except I really suck at Apex.
I'm going to have a little jar of where every time I see a VTuber who sucks at first person shooters, I just put an extra penny in it.
Bad. I'm like really bad. It's just because I'm not consistent with practicing.
I see. Obviously, then again, I'm coming from the position of being a first person shooter veteran. I've been doing first person shooters for a long while now. But oh well, that's my problem at least.
Yeah, I'm just bad.
Don't be like that. Okay then, so my next question for you is going to be honestly, one of my big questions to you is going to simply be, how would you see yourself in terms of, how you would sell yourself to your community?
Oh wow. Okay, I have actually never thought.
I
I
mean,
I I don't know.
I do think it's a pretty important question since obviously to succeed as a VTuber you kind of have to, shut yourself out, advertise yourself.
No, yeah. Um, Most people know me for just kind of being like extremely goofy and saying really weird, like sus shit. I guess I would be known as the overcaring, really funky friend you can kind of count on. Like, literally, chat's just watching me make consistent mistakes and making stupid jokes. Just want to be
Nice.
that dependable, fun friend, you know?
Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think most VTubers are out there just trying to make friends and such, but I do know a few people who don't. And obviously, the whole thing about being a VTuber is that you kind of have to make something of yourself. And it's important. I mean, the fact that you literally just said to me that you've not really thought about that is kind of surprising.
Yeah, I just went in thinking, oh, this would be fun. I just need a couple more people to talk to and play games with. And I was like super grateful that I've made it to, it's not that far ahead, but in my mind, it's like extremely far.
Well, you've got more followers than me, so you're going somewhere, alright?
I'm grateful for what I have.
Me too. Me too. So, my next question is going to be, if there was three things you could tell a VTuber in terms of advice, what would it be?
Definitely the first one is ignore how many people are watching. It's, I know it seems like it's an important feat, but it's not important. Ignore that number. Have fun overall, and you don't need an expensive model to, do things. I started off with a free 3D model that I did myself, and I was having fun.
Well, that's pretty impressive. I can't do 3D modeling for anything. Well, that's one thing. What about the next one?
Oy. Oh, don't go with trends just to get like out there and be seen. It's great, but it's if you're not feeling it and it's not fun, then it's not really genuine and it's not you, and people can sense that. I
Actually,
think
I do find that actually kind of interesting to bring up because that was actually what caused me to rebrand in the first place.
really.
Most people won't know this because I really kept it a secret. But this is actually a rebrand. This is not me as a first time VTuber. And,
Rebranding's good though.
huh?
Rebranding can be good though. Sometimes you need to switch it up.
Yeah, exactly. I rebranded because I wasn't happy with what I was doing beforehand. And honestly, I'm really glad I've managed to get this far in this rebrand. Because I've only been VTubing for about maybe 6 months now, at most.
Oh.
And my original VTubing business did not last a month.
Oh no. Sometimes you have to rebrand though to like to fit into what you want and like what you desire.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, the reason why I rebranded was, again, I was not happy with what I was doing or who I was. And so the rebrand was, again, my way of rectifying my own mistakes.
There
Pretty
you go.
expensive mistakes, mind you, but oh well.
Oh no. Oh no.
That's such as life.
VTubers make a lot of expensive mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen those posts on Twitter of people having to sell their models, and it's like thousands of dollars worth of models being sold, and it just doesn't sell.
Yeah,
It's
it's
really
it's
sad to watch
unfortunate.
that. Oh well. Okay, and then for your last piece of advice,
Yes, my last piece of advice is connect with your community and don't try to community hop because then you'll feel like you're stuck, like trying to juggle too many things at once.
yeah, I do feel like it is pretty important that you do prioritize your community over others. After all, it is your community. It's the ones that care
Exactly.
about you, and it's the ones that you have to care about.
Like it's great to like expand yourselves and like join other people's communities to like help expand you and your brand, but if you're doing mostly that and not paying attention and giving love to your own community, then you kind of are shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Being a streamer is already hard enough. Personally, I don't know that because I'm not a streamer yet. But obviously, you have to balance out, either your real life situations, your Twitch streams, your community, and your friends, their communities, their streams. It's a lot of stuff to micromanage, and I can imagine it can be a lot of work for some people.
Yeah, which is why I haven't branched out to like doing any of the big promotion things like TikTok or YouTube, because I simply find it already hard enough just branding myself on Twitch.
I
So when slowly doing it.
My actual advice for you is just do not touch TikTok with a 10-foot pole.
It's so hard.
It is so awful. It is so bad.
It's so hard. I'd rather just upload clips and call it a night. It's so hard.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. I mean, again, I've only been here, again, for about, let's see, my rebrand was April. No, it's August. It's about 4 or 5 months, and of course, I'm sitting at about 300 followers right now.
Yo, let's go.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Congratulations.
Okay, next question for you is going to be, what was your biggest struggles to get to where you are now?
Honestly, it's just myself. I struggle with a lot of self-confidence and self-worth. So there would be times that I just really, really wanted to quit if I was having like a really bad day. And myself was my biggest obstacle. That and my health. Well, mostly just myself then.
Yeah, most of the biggest issues VTubers are going to have is actually fighting themselves.
Yeah, because you think you're not doing good enough, and you're doing good enough for where you're at the moment. Over pushing yourself and overworking yourself will only just deepen your hole of sadness.
Yeah, obviously, again, it's pretty important that you have to reflect upon yourself and actually go through with what you're doing. Do you think it's worth you doing it? Do you think you're actually getting somewhere and whatnot? And in some people's cases, if they're pessimistic, it ruins them, and it's not
Yeah.
obviously not a good thing. Which is why I'm really glad that we have VTuber supporters. People who are actually willing to take the extra step to make sure that us as VTubers actually get to do our things and not feel burdened by our issues.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Which, just as a quick sidetrack, this is not a sponsor, believe it or not. uh, Mummy Mortem, Irisu, Moai of Knowledge, and Virtua Valentine recently launched a brand new group called VCare, and I
Ooh.
highly encourage people to go to that Twitter page and follow it. They are magnificent people, and I cannot thank them enough for what they have done for this community. And I am very, very excited to interview each and every one of them one day. It'll be fantastic.
That sounds really good. Holy shoot. Wow.
And again, please, for love of God, just say thank you to every single VTuber supporter. They are wonderful people. Okay, that's me simping for VTuber supporters. Yeah, I mean, just as a personal thing, my biggest issue personally was actually my own voice, and well, considering that I have to do the ridiculous task of making a documentary, which is an extremely long video with my voice, that was definitely a pretty interesting challenge. And by the end of it, I was like, well, that's me now. That's who I am. And obviously, many other people have voice insecurities as well, and they will have to eventually, battle it and overcome it, otherwise they're going to end up with some problems.
That's very true.
And even then, you don't even need a voice to be successful at VTubing.
Yeah, you definitely don't. Look at the big V shoujo girls that like Zen who don't need a big needs to use her voice in order to like do things.
Yeah, exactly. Zentreya is a perfect example of that. She uses a TTS system, and it works. And let's just remember, the only reason why she uses a TTS system is simply because she does not want people recognizing her real voice, which
Mhm.
is entirely fine. That is completely respectable and a legitimate reason. And again, the way that she uses TTS is excellent. It comes off almost naturally. And
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
hell, if you've seen that V Zojo animation of when Kason was introduced to the group, it worked there as well.
Uses her TTS when she does community nights too with her community.
Yeah, but yeah, I do like to think that many issues that VTubers go through have a lot of ways to be fixed. Like, I think outside of the voice issue, the biggest one I can probably think of is models. And I can tell you right now, you can get great models for actually quite cheap.
Absolutely. And just because you have an expensive model doesn't mean anything. Like, sure,
We're,
expensive models are cool, but if you have an expensive model but you don't engage with your community and don't like give them sustenance in a way, then you can basically fall flat.
yeah, because what was that fun quote again? It doesn't matter how expensive it is, it's about how you use it.
Absolutely.
Well, okay, that's not the actual accurate quote, but obviously the real
Close
quote is
enough.
a bit different. But yeah, which just as for any VTubers who do want a model out there, may I suggest you to go check out vtuber.gg, and there are great websites of where you can find talented people with great prices. And they're actually one of the sites of where I was able to find my model mama, and she's a fantastic person. And let's take a look. My next question for you is going to be, yeah, that's it. What do you aspire to do in the future?
Honestly, just grow my community and make more friends. I don't plan too far ahead. Sorry for the screaming verb.
That's funny because I heard that burp earlier, but I did
Oh,
not
yeah,
hear it this time
two.
round.
I have two of them, so you'll hear some beeping and booping,
Well, so
and then the
far
other
I've
one
not
just
actually.
screams.
So far I've heard it once, and that's it.
Great.
So you're doing fine so far. Your little puppet creature isn't being too much of a distraction. Okay, in that case, I mean, don't get me wrong. That is actually a pretty good future plan. Just keep growing and get some more friends. That's
Yeah.
pretty much the only plan I have myself. Okay, and that will actually conclude this interview.
Yay. I'm
So,
glad I was able to be interviewed.
as one last question, where
Mhm.
can people find you?
I am mostly located on Twitch and a YouTube
Twitch.
video here and there, but just one so far.
Okay, so let's take a look here. So it's at Boops on Twitter, and is it the same on Twitch?
It's X Boops with two Z's and an X at the end.
Okay, so that's for Twitch, and then for Twitter, is it the same thing or is it different?
The Twitter is different. Actually, is it the same? I think I should have switched it to the same thing. I don't believe so. No,
Don't
it's
worry about it. I'll
Boops
put the
with four
correct.
Z's.
Don't worry about it. I'll put the correct details in.
KK.
But yeah, you can go find her at Boops on both Twitch and Twitter and on YouTube. But that's more of a rarity thing.
Yeah.
And just like that, that has been the absolutely wonderful Boops. Thank you so much. and I hope you enjoy watching this interview. I will see you all next time. Signing off.